But joining us now is Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul. Senator, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Wolf.
As you know, the president said today that members on both sides of the aisle in the Senate, in the House, Republicans and Democrats, they will eventually thank him because both parties, he says, have lost confidence in the FBI director, now the former director, James Comey. Had you lost confidence in him?
Yeah, and I think it's true that both sides of the aisle had, because, you know, Democrats felt like he went too far in insinuating that Hillary Clinton was guilty, and Republicans felt like he didn't go far enough in indicting her. So it's like he had Republicans and Democrats lost confidence in him. And I think universally people thought that the Clinton email investigation got politicized. Normally, the FBI doesn't come forward and have all these public discussions. And really, she was convicted basically in public, even though she was never indicted. Now, you could argue that if everything he said about her was true, she should have been indicted, but it served to please no one. And it did happen right in the height of a presidential campaign. So I think really, you know, Harry Reid said that he should resign. Chuck Schumer said he lost confidence in him. Even Eric Holder said that he defied most of the traditions of the Department of Justice. So I think a lot of people on both sides lost confidence, myself included.
Well, what do you say to the critics who talk about now the timing of the firing, that it comes in the wake of the latest reports, including from CNN, among others, that just the other day he was asking for more resources, more money to help the FBI in this Russia investigation. The Department of Justice, the spokesperson there, denying those reports, but that he wanted more resources to get involved in this investigation. Then all of a sudden, the president fires him.
Yeah, all I know is what the Department of Justice says, and you can say they're dishonest, but they're saying that that never occurred and is not accurate. So I think we have to at least listen to what the people are saying who are involved. But I would say that there are a lot of reasons why we should get new direction at the FBI. For a long time, I thought that our investigations and trial of prevention of terrorism hadn't gone so well. The killer in Orlando was known to the FBI and was reported to a gun shop weeks in advance, and I think the FBI didn't do an adequate job. And so there's a lot of evidence that I think we need a new direction, but we've never had a scandal in the middle of a presidential election where the FBI director comes forward and says, you know, I think she's guilty, but I'm not going to indict her, and lays out 15 minutes of why she's guilty in so many fronts, and then doesn't indict her.
But you remember,
we just never had anything like that in our history.
You remember all the statements that the then candidate Donald Trump made around that time, praising Comey for what he was doing, praising his statements about the Hillary Clinton investigation, and he continued that for a while. If he was going to fire the guy, why didn't he just simply do it on the day he became president on January 20th?
I think the same people that criticize him now would have also said, well, he didn't go through any deliberative process. And really, technically, the FBI director works for the assistant attorney general who works for the attorney general. So the Department of Justice oversees the FBI. And I think it took a long time, mainly because Democrats opposed approving these people, that when they finally got approved, they did go through a deliberative process and said, you know, this is probably the most politicized investigation ever. And I think it is kind of crocodile tears now for the Democrats. They've been haranguing and saying he cost them the election. They've been calling for his head for months. And then when it finally happens, they're like all holier than thou, and this is Watergate. That's ridiculous.